What's poppin', Guardians? Iron Banner's not going to be here for long, and definitely you probably should spend your weekend in Iron Banner because there is some exclusive weapons that even the tier 5 system that's coming in Edge of Fate isn't really going to replace. And there's 3 weapons, but I'm going to be showing you 10. But the 3 that we're going to be talking about the most, especially in the beginning, those are the ones you really need to sit down and just grit your teeth. I know Iron Banner sucks. It's rough. It's really rough out there for everyone, not just the top 1% of players, not even the bottom percent. Like, it's just everyone. It's rough, and we can hope that in September, which is when Iron Banner will be returning, let's just show you, just to show the proof. Iron Banner Edge of Fate. Edge of Fate launches July 15th. Iron Banner will be a hiatus for time. Oh, there's a misspelling right there. Oh my god. Tower in September is when it'll be back. That's a while. It is June 20th, 2025, and not till September. That's 3 months, I want to say. Less than 3 months, and that's gonna be a while. So as mentioned earlier, 10 weapons. We're gonna go through each one of them on the rolls. I will show a very small amount of footage, but we're gonna mainly be talking about the rolls, and there is PvP roles and PvE roles, and I know more than anything people are going to care about PvE roles, so don't worry, I'm going to be talking about that. But definitely the PvP ones that you're going to be looking at are like Criminal's Dagger, where it is the strongest hand cannon in the game, and you really should be using it. Now remember, the most important thing about Iron Banner, you're going to want to equip armor, especially ornaments that are going to be akin of Iron Banner, and they will pretty much state or let you know in the directory which ones are going to be giving you the bonus, and especially the emblem. So pick any emblem of Iron Banner from now or the past and make sure to put them on. That way you get the maximum rep, and right now because it's Friday, all the challenges are available, so you can get that rep up a lot faster. Sit down, have a good nice grind session, probably grab a beer, your favorite choice of drink, and you're gonna need it because it's gonna be tough. But more than anything, glimmer is something you're gonna need a lot of too, because if you look at the focus decoding for any of the current weapons, there are 1 iron engram and 25,000 glimmer. That's a lot. That's seriously a lot. And just to get a focusing in, it's gonna take a lot of your currency, so definitely just make sure to keep that in mind. Now I will warn you too, the other weapons that we talk about, some of them are in the past, which means they cost 3 iron engrams instead. And this is where the wrap maxing really matters, because that's how you're going to get a lot of iron engrams. But these are lower priority weapons. Currently, these are the higher priority weapons. And I'll tell you right now, Criminals, Multi-Mock, Warlord Spear, and especially Tenacious Mastery and Nature's Reclaim. So 5 of them here are the main focus you should get, and 5 other ones are in the past. But again, I cannot stress it enough. Get these first, then get the older ones. So let's start off with why Criminal's Dagger. Why am I repeating this so much? I did make a video on it, and I made it for good reasons, because this got buffed with its stats, so now it really heavily competes with like Igneous Hammer when it was at its peak. Let alone it has Slideways, which when you're just sliding, just at any time, doesn't even have to have like the ammo for the refill, just at all times that you're sliding. 33 stability, 17 handling. That's insane. You get such a smooth feeling weapon for 120 that it's gonna be hard to really miss your shots. And Adagio is what wins clutch rounds in trials, in comp, and hell, even in 6v6s. This thing is amazing. The fact that you can 2-tap a Guardian to the head with almost no exceptions, this is insane. Another option too is Precision Instrument, because on any hand cannon, getting more damage is the equivalent to getting a lot more range, and that makes getting the easy 3 shots a lot more easier from way longer of a range that anyone can ever expect. So keep that in mind. So if you're getting drops right now, you're focusing, you either want to have, or you're gonna for sure want to have Fluted Barrel, Tactical Mag, Stability Masterwork, Handling is fine, Slideways, Adagio first. If you get something, Precision Instrument as well, that's totally fine. No ifs, ands, or buts. You have to have Slideways. This is a must-have. Any other weapon, if you can make it work, or sorry, any other perk, if you can make it work, then great, cool. That's great on you. Obviously, something like Air Trigger, not that great in PvP or Outlaw, which is it's okay, but it's not as strong as other things, and especially Slideways. Moving on to what I like to call, hey, you're doing a GM, just take this. Literally just only take this. You don't need to worry about any other champion weapon, champion mods, or anything. Just take this, make sure your subclass can proc Radiant, and that's all you need. Why? Because it's a rocket sidearm, which means it does solid damage to champions and just anything in the game. Let alone it comes with Chill Clip. Chill Clip can slow targets and freeze them with 3 hits, So you can instantly stun overload champions. You can get a unstoppable champion stun and frozen, ready to go. When you proc Radiant, it gives you anti-barrier. You're done. That's it. That's all you need. Just Radiant to proc and you're solid. To Nash's Mastery, and especially right now this season where it's coming to the end, where right before Edge of Fate, we have anti-barrier sidearms. I've only used this in GMs and I've been grinding lately too, and this is just all I need. I don't even have to think. It's just no brainer. Put this on, bam, I'm gonna stun every champion and we're gonna have an easy time. We're gonna fly through GMs, get 10-minute kills all Warden of Nothing, and it's great. It's seriously, this is, I say that criminals is something you must have. To Nash's Mastery is actually the real reason to grind Iron Banner, and especially, again, it doesn't come back till September. So when you're doing the Edge of Fate Day 1 raid or doing anything in Edge of Fate and you want to make sure that you have an easier time, to Nash's Mastery is the way to go. Chill Clip, Air Trigger, or literally anything else. Honestly, Loose Change is fine just because that synergizes with Chill Clip. Impulse Amplifier is my favorite. Enlighten Action is great. You can do some funky stuff with Deconstruction, but it's pretty cool. Just avoid Offhand Strike and Reverberation because these don't really work at all. So don't use those. But you have 5 other chances, let alone 2. Chill Clip is pretty much the only thing. So if you don't get Chill Clip, then don't worry about it. High Explosive Ordnance gives you an ideal better, if I remember correctly, it's a better backpack of ammo. But that may not matter, so you can really just get anything here and anything here as well. It doesn't matter. Masterwork as well doesn't matter. And also remember, Skulking Wook on Iron Banner weapons, they work in PvE and they give you that, what I call the dodge type of scenario buff, where PvE combatants become less accurate when you're targeting you, and that's super huge because you can stack that with like Amplify, and you're just gonna have enemies that can't even hit you. It's actually really funny, and I kind of like it a lot because it gives you that evasion factor. And again, I can't stress this enough that this is the entire video. Just get to Nash's Mastery, focus this, use all your glimmer, you will not regret it. Even a tier 5 weapon cannot compete with this gun at all. And if this does become tier 5 in the future, hey, you can just skip out on a grind because honestly, it's not gonna make that much of a difference, so it's fine. I'm gonna pivot real quick just because we've only gone 2 weapons so far, and there's 5 weapons that I can just quickly talk about because they're not as strong as compared to other things that are in this list, but they are something that's like, hey, if you want to get some low priority weapons, especially because they're one of a kinds, you should get these. If you're a sniper connoisseur, Oculate Finality and Bite of the Fox are 2 sniper rifles that you should really get and keep your eye on, because I don't think there's going to be something like this in the future at all. And especially the Finality, where I feel like because it has such a high zoom, it's extremely beneficial in a lot of map scenarios where someone's just playing way too far and they can't flinch you hard enough from the distance, so you just snipe them right off the bat and have a great time. It's also super consistent, and I prefer the aggressive frames a lot more, and I'm not much of a sniper. I'm really more of the aggressive shotgunner or hand cannon duelist, so this is something where I have to really give a big vouch on that this is one of my favorite sniper rifles of all time, and you should very much grind for this role. Skulking Wolf, Opening Shot, Snapshot Sights, Ricochet Rounds, or kind of anything else, but for sure Fluted Barrel and Handling, because without those 2, the handling is atrocious. So just keep that in mind with the aggressive frame snipers. That's where the mirror also comes in of Bite of the Fox, and hear me out, trust me, don't hesitate. Slick Jaw on a sniper rifle is really good, and if you know, you very much know. So if you do get some Bite of the Foxes, or if you already have Ocular Finality, you want to make sure to get another great alternative. Bite of the Fox with Slick Jaw and Opening Shot is the way to go. Moving target's fine. Explosive Payload's actually really funny. It's actually really good. But you definitely want to avoid handling if you get Slick Jaw, because Slick Jaw will always make it at 100 handling. I do hope this gun does get a tier 5 in the future. I don't care about Ocular Finality getting tier 5, but Bite of the Fox getting a tier 5 would be very great, because Slick Jaw Enhanced makes it so that the punishment for the target acquisition isn't as harsh. Allied Demand is another one of those quick weapons that we're going to go over really quickly, just because a sidearm in PvP kind of really varies. It sometimes can be very good, it sometimes can be very crap because of the meta. But I feel like Allied Demand is the exception, because it really feels like a pseudo hand cannon range sidearm, which also is related to like Drang. And especially when you have Eye of the Storm and Rangefinder, Eye of the Storm just gives you the freest aim assist just for being in a fight. So just keep that in mind if you want to have a really strong sidearm. Point and stab is one of the weapons that really felt like it fell off because of power creep, and unfortunately when it first came back it only had Skulking Wolf, if I remember correctly. Actually, I might be wrong. I think I'm actually wrong. I think it had wildcard as well, but there was a time where I don't think it did, or something happened, but it didn't have wildcard. So when I first got the role, which I believe I have a Pugilist Dragonfly, it was really cool. But right now, Archer's Tempo, Dragonfly, or anything that's gonna be workhorse for damage would be really nice, and especially wildcard. This is my lowest weapon priority because I feel like this got replaced, but I just want to point that out there that it is a still very strong bow. And this is for PvE. and PvP, you can probably do some really funky stuff when it comes to like Swashbuckler in the future, but that's if you're a bow enthusiast. And finally, Warlord Spear, which is one of the newer trace rifles that were added into the game that comes with Detonator Beam. Detonator Beam is really good of a perk, and especially with reround rounds. However, I think the last seasonal event weapon that came around that had that was also an arc trace rifle was a lot better. So honestly, and during the time Iron Banner was around there too, I just pivoted for that instead. And I feel like we're going to get another arc trace rifle replacement in the future anyway. So don't prioritize this at all unless you're really just kind of like out of options. And especially because this is one of the most recent releases. So it still only is worth 1 iron engram in contradiction to like Ally Demand or Point of Stag, which is not at all. It's 3 iron engrams. Okay, so we'll be on this. We'll go over the final 3 weapons that are around for Iron Banner that you should really focus on, which is like Explosive Payload, Shoot to Loot as upgraded of Staccato, which is Nature's Reclaim. I think this is one of the speedrunners type of weapon because this combo is super nice, especially when you just need to get a quick reload off for your special and your heavy and just get all the ammo vacuumed in. I think compared to Staccato, Skulking Wolf is what really made me want to get a roll of this, which I did, thankfully. And it's just because Skulking Wolf in PvE is just super strong. It's super great. And I love the combo of Explosive and Shoot to Loot. And now that we can get it enhanced compared to Staccato, which cannot get enhanced, it's even better. So definitely aim for this roll, especially if you love in PvE the functionality of Shoot to Loot. Cough, cough, Nilla, cough, cough. And you should really much keep at least something that has split explosive payload in combination with this. You can use incandescent, however it's not consistent where Shoot to Loot actually does proc for incandescent. It does work better with ultra traits such as wildcard, but explosive payload is the much more consistent way to go. You can also settle for precision instrument or desperate measures, but definitely explosive payload, just as long as you're getting a damage boost of some sort. Definitely something great to have. I would chase for this right after you get your Tadasha's Mastery if you're a PvE main, because any of the rest of the weapons kind of more so are more for PvP. Maybe not multi-mock, just because, you know, attrition orbs and kinetic tremors. However, unironically, and you can even out me on this too, I don't use the one that was given to us by Gunsmith. I just don't really have much of a reason to, and I still have it right here. And you can just get it for free, so you don't even need to grind for it. And this roll honestly is pretty damn good. So if you don't have a good multi-mock, or if you don't want to grind for it, or if you just want to get that perfect one, the choice is yours. However, in a drastic pivot in PvP, SMGs are getting a rise, and especially if the weapon stat with that 200 in Edge of Faith, this combo is coming back stronger than ever before. Maybe even moving target, maybe even dynamic sway reduction. Hell, you don't even need to use target lock. You can use kinetic tremors, and you're gonna get some insane TTKs. So if you're a PvE main and already have the God Roll multi-mock and you want to have something deadly to have, keep the rolls that you get from focusing the PvE roll. If they're PvP and they have any other combination of these, of this, of that, hell, even kill clip, Iron Reach is fine too, Frenzy is even fine too. I'd probably just avoid tap trigger and that's about it. But now the last, and very much not at all the least, Lethal Abundance is one of the most lethal and scariest under the table weapons because Slice is super strong. Remember, we did get a buff where Slice is now working correctly again in PvP, and this causes a lot of people's TTKs on weapons to just go drastically down. And it sets you up also for strand plays, honestly. And remember also, once again, there's been buffs going on for weapons in the 360 auto rifle category that you should really keep an eye on that really makes the guns feel really good. Like 4 crits, 2 body is all you need for the 0.83 TTK. That's pretty good. A comparison of Regix takes 0.87 around there. I might be wrong. Well, whatever. Close enough. But you should really much get a roll like this. And especially because it's an Iron Banner weapon, it also helps you greatly to get the reputation that you need. So if you get a solid roll, it just makes your time a lot more easier to have more options for Iron Banner. And come September, I'm sure the sandbox will be completely different. So we'll never know what weapon will be dominant. Hell, at some point, maybe we might even have like Nature's Reclaim being the strongest weapon, or even Tenasha's somehow rocket sidearms become the meta for PvP. Like I would be completely baffled. But that's where you want to make sure to have a solid roll of this. Now, if you don't get Slice, it's totally fine. You can get Dynamic Sway Reduction. It really makes the guns feel a lot more better, and Keep Away, or even a Lighten. But if you're also pivoting for PvE and you're wondering like what would be good for that, I'd go like Discord Hatchling, just because if you get a kill with your special weapon, you could just go on a complete rampage and just spam out Hatchlings and just go crazy. You can also combine Discord with another Discord special weapon, so you're just back-to-back killing, and you don't even ever have to reload. Like, it's actually a really cool interaction, so just keep that in mind. Discord is a super good perk and makes you have a good time. Also, it have barely noticed too, it does have Onslaught, something to also really have together because it's just classic kill chaining perks. Very cool, very fun. A lot of information. I'm sorry for the information overload, but I didn't want to get this out on Friday because there's only going to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 3 final days of Iron Banner until you can get any of the rolls that are listed and get any of your final god rolls you've been chasing for, because this won't be back till September. And honestly, that's one of the biggest breaks we've ever seen for Iron Banner in a very long time. So definitely don't miss out. At least get 1 or 2 god rolls and don't burn yourself out. Seriously, take some breaks. Iron Banner is rough. Hell, I'm not even playing Iron Banner at all. I'm playing Altering Night Ring and I'm having a great time. But I will be delivering a Icefall Mantle build, a Titan build that I've been wanting to share for a long time, really soon. So just keep that in mind. Keep your subscription boxes open, whatever the hell it is to say for YouTube. So yeah, but most importantly, take it easy, Guardians.